I think we should, along that line, enter or add an item that correlates with the phrase business acumen.
What?
This leader has to be able to manage finance, operations, personnel, has to deal with students at the student level, teachers at all levels. You're dealing with 4,000 people and a $350 million budget. In order to manage that effectively, you're going to require or have to have some sort of business acumen. And so whatever that comprises, and of course it's way down the line from this thing called project management, it's way down the line from this thing called accounting. And so I think by adding that as a general requirement or a reference point by which people could strive to say, hey, I have a management skill set, a business leadership skill set.
And that might be something that we want to add in when we're writing questions. If we want to do something like that, what we want to focus on now is we want to pull some of these research-based characteristics, and we want to make sure that we have them on our advertisement. So then that might be, and I'll make a little note with the business acumen, that can be something for a question like when we're getting into first round, things like that.
Well, I don't think so, but
Okay.
let the body speak. Well, my reason for, if I may say, for producing that point now / early / in the job scope, is because you don't want to bring a total educator to the floor and then have him pop out a couple of business points or project management points, and therefore I'm saying throw it in there. Let them know that this school district will be looking for some sort of business background as part of an acceptance criteria. Doesn't have to be a lot, 20%, call it 15%, but something such that we're not just talking about a pure educator who's been educating for 20 years, and then suddenly business acumen. Let me think. When we have them on the spot. So I think we can only help ourselves if we care at all about that point to mention it in our initial job scope. That's all I have.
This is
Thank
a
you.
school division. Our job is instruction. That's what we do. From pre-kindergarten, from preschool to seniors in high school, we are instructing students, getting them through their educational career, so they can go on to post education, whatever it is that they do. So I think it's very important, and that we are a public school division. I think it's very important that I just cannot fathom someone coming in to be the superintendent of schools and leading instruction who does not have an instructional background. It's unfathomable to me that someone who has been working in the business field but couldn't tell me what Title I is going to be leading a school division. So I appreciate what you said, but because I am an educator, I am a K-12 educator, and I know the importance of someone leading the division that has that proven instruction in their back pocket.
Well, I like what Gary spoke. I agree with him. I don't think he's asserting that anybody will have zero education background. I think we should all insist on that to a degree. Having said that, Ms. Shelley, would you like to withdraw your recommendation, or do you want a straw poll vote?
I am not withdrawing my recommendation.
Okay, let's take a straw poll vote. Pronounce your recommendation again, please.
Someone with robust knowledge of public education as a proven instructional leader.
Okay.
Can I just say something really quickly?
Yes, Dr. Daniels.
Ms. Shelley, is there a way that we can, again, just a suggestion, instead of instructional leader, can we just say educational leader? I'm okay either way.
Education is instruction. So I would be fine if it said educational leader. But I definitely need public school in there as well.
Okay, Mr. Busmo.
So, Ms. Sandy, I understand where everyone's coming from and what Mr. Gary said. The same way certain board members wanted financial, or like myself, I wanted a person with experience of large budgets and whatnot. And we said those can be questions farther through in the process, so we can make sure we have a greater pool. With having, and just please yes or no, because I don't want too much dialogue back and forth. But with having the, and I asked this earlier, candidates must obtain Virginia Superintendent certifications. By putting that on there as a requirement, and yes or no, do you believe we will be getting people who do have a robust knowledge in public education?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure,
So,
we already have that.
okay, so let's go to vote.
Okay, straw poll. How about a voice vote? Everybody good with that? Ms. Shelley, what, you support your recommendation? Yes? Okay, Ms. Daniels, yes?
Yes.
Ms. Phelps?
No.
Twig, no.
Gillespie, no.
Mr. Busmo, no. And Ms. Cole, what do you say?
Yes, I support it.
By motion of 4-3, we're going to keep it a little more broad in accordance with, I think it's in accordance with what Ray said.
And
Well, Ray
Please
did
no,
mention
please
public schools. He did
His name-
mention
his name's not
public
Ray.
schools, that we could put something
Gary,
like
Gary
that
Ray
in
is
there.
his first name.
So the next best thing would be robust knowledge of public education, because he did say that something like that would be okay.
And
Okay,
maybe,
and Ms. Sandy, you were going to speak.
maybe we could put in the bullet point that says, is a trusted leader who values ethics, integrity by practicing moral authority, is a trusted educational leader. With public educational
Public
leader?
school educational leader.
Do I hear, no, educational?
Where's that going in the requirements, the
it would be one
have-tos,
of
or
the-
in the, just
It-
in the ad,
it's-
just abroad?
It's the ad for the characteristics, is a trusted public educational
So
leader.
it's not a
or-
must or a shall?
No.
Okay.
And Ms. Sandy? Oh, Ms.
What's the
Gillespie
board's
would like to
wish?
ask a question.
Just like when Mr. Abusmal was asking to add the budgetary
Right,
stuff
and add it to
earlier,
the question.
add to it, and it was recommended not to add to it yet, to add that into the questions later.
Agreed.
I was just wondering, and the reason for that was because it would make it become more constrictive. So if we do this now, just like Mr. Ray said, it could potentially make it become more constrictive in a pool.
Correct.
I have a comment in regards to that. We are a public school system, and just like there was compromise on adding finance, and finance covers budget, so there was compromise. We're working together. You added the finance. We want to make sure, and we should all want to make sure, that this person is has characteristics of working with public schools. And I don't think that it is restrictive of candidates who want to come to or submit their applications for being a public school superintendent, which is what we should want. We should want candidates who want to and have experience in public schools to submit applications. So I think we could work together, and that doesn't create a restriction as a public school system to add the public education to that bullet point on the characteristics.
Especially since this is what the public stated as well.
There was a reference point to that, right, Sandy?
I think we're all set, because if we add that with the characteristics, then it still keeps the net broad enough as we're
Okay.
recruiting, if that's the pleasure of the board.
But not restrictive, mind you.
Correct.
I have a question.
There you go. Ms. Gillespie?
So if they later on happen to, if we end up getting candidates that are not from the public education system, would they still be able to apply? Would they be considered?
Yes, because this is a characteristic. Doesn't mean that they wouldn't be screened out eventually by the board or whatever, but absolutely they could.
Okay.
Right.
Okay?